Wasted Water Sports, ahoy! How's everybody doing? Apologies for that. A few technical difficulties as we switched between Rugby League and Rugby Union once again. Rugby League last night, of course. For whatever reason, something always goes absolutely balls up whenever we switch and hop codes. But hopefully got it all sorted now. Should be live over there on TikTok. Successful appeal from that little issue last night. And also live on Twitch and live on our main home there on YouTube. So welcome along, whichever platform you're joining us on. It is well and truly the business end of the Super Rugby season. The Crusaders back into the finals where they so rightly belong. It's just been weird in recent seasons having Super Rugby finals and no Crusaders. And the Blues unexpectedly joining them here this season. The Blues started quite low on the table. It looked at one point as if they were as good as gone. They snuck through to the playoffs and they've made a real menace of themselves. And here they are on the brink of something very special. Something very special it would be this season should they go on and complete an almighty comeback and an almighty victory. Mulga, ahoy there. Out of the two players that I have on the screen, well, there should be three on the screen. There should be three there for starters. Let's hope that that screen's nicely in the middle. But of the three on the screen, who do I think is most likely to score? Quite honestly, I think Cody Taylor. Because it's finals footy, bonus points are out the window. The Crusaders, any chance they get from a penalty, they're going to put it into the corner, set up a rolling maul. Cody Taylor will be retaining possession there at the back of the maul to dive over. So that'd be mine. But of course, should the Crusaders decide to throw caution to the wind a little bit, Devo Reese comes well into play. AP, thank you very much, mate, for the rose. Nice and early over there on TikTok. Very nice to have you along, mate. As always, Casey and Tolson. Ahoy there, Casey and Tolson on the YouTube as the teams are out onto the field. Well, the Crusaders are anyway. The home side heading out first, and it's the Blues who have made them wait. Is this an early little piece of mind games from the Blues? Make the home side wait. So yeah, if I had to choose just one and go anytime try scorer, I want to say Cody Taylor. For all the reasons that I stated. But of course, I like to stack my same game multis up. I can't handle just one. I've got to put 3 or 4 in there. Expecting a low scoring game in this one, so just the 3. The Blues do come out onto the field now. Bone and Barrett. The superstar players step up in the big moments, don't they? So that's why I've got Bodie Barrett for anytime try scorer tonight. That is no sure thing, though. Oh, who's passed away? No way. Stu Wilson? I am only just learning this now. Stu Wilson's passed away. Former All Black. Okay, so there will very obviously be a moment's silence. I had not heard that. Stu Wilson, eh? Rabbitus. Rabbitoso. Yes, indeed. Super Rugby semi-finals time. And yes, indeed, a moment's silence for Stu Wilson, former All Black. To Stu. Yes, a moment's silence for Stu Wilson. I only just found out about that. R.I.P. Another All Blacks legend. Referee today, James Dolman. Can't say that I've ever heard of him before, so could be interesting. As long as he lets the game flow, we should have a good one here. Crusaders, Blues. All right, final prediction for this game. Crusaders 1-12. I think it'll be close, but ultimately, Crusaders just too strong this season. But we shall see. Kickoff. Moments away. Here's the countdown. Semi-final number 1 is off and running. The Blues start us off, putting the ball down midfield. And it's a nice take by Leo Willie for the Crusaders, who set up now just outside their 22. The Blues pile in, but it's an easy ball retention here for the Crusaders. Setting up the box kick, and Hotham can plug it out of here. Sean Hewitt, ahoy, mate. 19-15 to the Blues. There's Sean Hewitt. A bold prediction there for Blues supporters as the box kick up to halfway. Taken by the Blues. They'll set up here just inside the Crusaders' half and look to get the first attacking raid on. Rock my balls, ahoy, mate. Finley Christie's got it at the back out for Barrett. Barrett puts it high. It's a little too deep, this one, to be contestable. And taken at the back, Rehana sets up the ball. Blues pile in. But Hotham's got it. And the Crusaders can set up another ruck and look to clear again. UFC, ahoy, mate. Hotham with the box kick. Sends it upfield. And taken by Barrett, who is crunched in the tackle. The ball's loose out the back. The Blues dive on it. But the Crusaders look to pile in and drive over the top. But Finley Christie with the counter-attack, the counter-ruck. Hoskins Satutu comes away with it. Now the Blues retain possession on halfway. Told to use it now. And they take an eternity to use it. That always bothers me. Referee says use it. Finley Christie stands there looking at the ball as he sends the box kick down. Knock on by the Crusaders. A cheeky little result here for the Blues. And Barrett with the crossfield kick, looking for Caleb Clark. It bounces up for him. And what a one-on-one tackle by Faiatu. And the Crusaders now march over the top of it and win the turnover. Well, that was almost your first leg there, UFC. Caleb Clark in open space. The kick from Bowden Barrett found its target. For Shea Faiatu, a beautiful one-on-one tackle on the big man. Penalty for the Crusaders here after a successful turnover. Hell of a kick, hell of a tackle. Great play all around. Luke, ahoy, mate. Line out throw goes to the middle. Hotham can't control it at the back. Scrambles back for it. Crusaders retain possession just shy of the halfway line on this near touch. And Tom Christie sets up the ruck. This could get confusing. There's Christie's on both teams. There's Barrett's on both teams. There's Hotham with the box kick. Clark throws a loose pass into midfield, and that creates immense pressure here. Sullivan's wrapped up, and they've kept him up off the deck as well. The maul is set. The Blues have to get this to ground. It falls on the wrong side. But a penalty to the Blues. After all that hard work, all that good work by the Crusaders defense. Not rolling away, giving away the penalty. Barrett finds touch on halfway. So yeah, looking into your three-legger there, UFC, I wouldn't say it's a lock. I mean, it's obviously low odds, high probability. As the Blues win the throw at the front of the line out, Christie sends it out into midfield. Barrett puts the kick high. And it's a little too deep to be contestable. And Faiatu brings it back. Crusaders still inside their own territory here. Loose pass out the back, sets up nicely for Jordan. Numbers here to the left. Draw and pass. And Semi Reese is in open space. Puts the kick downfield. And it sits up in the 22 for Bodie Barrett to clear. And Barrett thumps it into touch back up towards halfway. So this feeling out process continues. And neither team can really claim ascendancy at the moment. Some poor execution is really costing them some forward momentum as Taylor throws to the front of the line out, taken by the Crusaders. Set piece. Can they launch an attack? No, they can't. Shut down in midfield. Hotham with the box kick, 10 short of halfway. Racing through to put pressure on here is Will Jordan. Driving over the top, the Crusaders, but the ball's already out. And Riccatelli gets those big legs pumping down the short side. Fusitu'a now up to halfway. Christie stays on the short side again. Cut out pass for Talia, who beats one. And he crawls into Crusaders territory. Just controlling the ball on halfway now. Satutu lays it back. Back in towards midfield they come now. Papali'i. 5 phases. Christie says, let's get it out of here. Sends it back for Bowden Barrett. Sends it high. Contestable ball, but taken by Reese. Talia tries to shovel him over the sideline. But Reese stays in field. And Rayhana with a more traditional clearing kick here over the top of Barrett. And Barrett, again, he looks for that banana kick up to halfway. Doesn't find touch. Havili dummies to kick. Does end up kicking to the open side. Looking for the bounce for Faiatu. Puts enough pressure on here that forces the mistake. And the Crusaders come away with it. Knock-on advantage at the moment it is. But Will Jordan looking for half a gap. Looking for anything really. 6.5 minutes gone. A little frantic piece of play here. The short side they go. Keeping the ball alive with some short passes. Hotham pops it back in field and it bounces away. Advantage is over for that original knock-on and the Blues clear. Again, execution just letting the Crusaders down. And a little stoppage in play at last. No score here in the semi-final. 7 minutes gone. We were expecting a close, tight tussle. Nobody's really been within striking distance yet as Cody Taylor goes over the top to the back. Scott Barrett brings it down and the rolling maul is set. Crusaders marching up to halfway. That's once, says the referee. And here they go again. Some forward momentum and breaking away now. Cody Taylor. Taylor takes it within 40. Quick ball here. Havili, dummies, takes the line on. Finley Christie with a great one-on-one tackle on a much, much bigger man. Hotham into Cody Taylor again. I'm feeling pretty good about this Cody Taylor call. Rayhana on to Shalfoon. Midfield ball here, Crusaders. Blues, spoil. Do they spoil legally? Yes, they do. Riccatelli rips it away and sends it out for AJ Lamb. Lamb kicks into the corner. It's a foot race. Oh, Severis wins by a mile. Oh, and he loses the ball out the back, Severis, and has to ground it in goal. 5-meter scrum here for the Blues. Well, Severis, Usain bolted his way to win the race to the ball, but he bobbles it on the try line, and he was forced to ground it. 5-meter scrum. Not committing enough numbers to that ruck on halfway. The Crusaders were turned over. That was it. There was no coming back from that. Big moment in the game for the Blues. Not only would this be a massive, massive confidence boost for them, but quite frankly, they probably need to be the first team to score. Five-meter scrum. It binds. It sets. Christie feeds. Looking to shove their way over here, the Blues. The ball spills out the back, and it's a loose pass as well. Sullivan has to go back and get it. Beats the first tackle. Zahn Sullivan is back exactly where the scrum finished up. Just to the right of the post here, the Blues. 5 out. Big defensive effort needed here from the Crusaders. Right in front of the post here. 5 out. They go left. And that, I believe, was Satutu carrying forward. Christie with the cutout pass for Ioane. And Rico is put down. Losing ground here. Attacking defense from the Crusaders. Back into midfield for Tui Pilotu. They go quickly. Christie to Satutu. Tries to burrow his way under. Still 5 meters out. This is good defense so far. But numbers to the right now. And here is Mark Talia for tickety-tick number 1 for UFC. And the first try of the night. Great vision by Bowden Barrett. Launches the pass over the top of the defense. The cutout pass to an unmarked Mark Talia. Blues with the first try. Just what the doctor ordered for them. Bowden Barrett now from the sideline. An attempt to convert here. Puts it on target. If it holds its line, it does. It hooks back right down the middle. And the Blues, a 7-0 lead. Too easy there for the Blues. But it was all on the back of that mistake, wasn't it? That mistake from Severis. We're on the restart. Hoskins Satutu carries it just outside the 22. Blues leading 7-0. Clearing kick, bounces awkwardly at the back for Rayhana, and there's a penalty here. Penalty is for the Blues, so they come all the way back. No advantage, says the referee, so they've come all the way back. An illegal tackle from Inor on Satutu, who is getting some treatment in back play. Oh, yes, he's got some blood out of the nose. Cheeky little bit of blood from a head clash. Well, that is a hideous head clash, and I'll tell you what, we have seen these yellow-carded potential foul players being looked at. This could be a turning point. 13, 2 upright in the tackle. Yellow card for Inor. Is this a huge turning point? 12 and a half minutes in. A head clash. And them's the rules, as they say. Seven points to 0. The Blues find touch now. 10 short of halfway. 2020 vision. You need Faiatu to score. Well, yeah, Fiaki's a chance to score. Absolutely. As Riccatelli throws to the middle. Crusaders look to disrupt, but it's there for Finley Christie. Sends it into midfield. Has Barrett been taken after the kick? No, says the referee, and Will Jordan brings it down on halfway. Crusaders back in possession. But of course, importantly, Crusaders will be down a man for the next 10 minutes. Jalfoon onto Rehana. Kicks for the corner. It's a beautiful kick. It will sit up in the field of play. Caleb Clark back in field to Barrett. Barrett fires it across for Sullivan. And Sullivan clears to the far side of the field. Finding touch 10 short of halfway. Crusaders will get the throw. The 13 minutes 50 gone. 7 points to 0. The Blues scoring off the back of that Severis error. Cody Taylor. One of my picks for same game multi. They haven't been close enough yet, the Crusaders. Throw to the middle, and Scott Barrett comes down with it. Rolling maul is set. So it's pretty clear what the tactic's going to be as they charge forward here, the Crusaders. The ball was left behind, though. How's it ended up all the way back there? Well, by shenanigans, says the referee. Penalty to the Crusaders. That was hilarious. The initial pod in that rolling maul had broken away, but the ball was 5 meters back upfield. Nathan, thank you very much for the heart me. Nathan, Australia. Crusaders finding touch just inside the 22. I think they would have liked some more meters off of that. But the way that they've got their rolling maul going, they could score from this far out. Taylor throws to the middle, disrupted and stolen by the Blues. Immediately spreading it wide to the left. Enrico Ioane's brought down just outside the 22. Told to use it. Christie has it set up. He'll want another ruck formed here, I think, and it is indeed. Satutu carries forward. And now Christie will look for the box kick. From just outside the 22, so he can't find touch. And it's an easy take of the back for Will Jordan. Good chase, though. Takes him down by the one leg. Jordan lays it back for Hotham. Back inside their own half here, the Crusaders. Down the short side for Tom Christie. Told to use it very quickly. Nathan, Australia, you've got both teams 8+, 13+ margin bets going on to win both games. Both games, both teams. Very nice. As this ball comes away now for the Crusaders. And now the counter-attack is on. Rehana to Havili, who spills it. Oh. David Havili with the case of the dropsies. What a goof. And I tell you what, the Crusaders here looking a little shaky. John Michael, ahoy, mate. One of your boys, UFC. Mark Talia, the first try scorer. And only try scorer of the game so far. 2020 vision on the Captain Morgans today. The good old captain. My captain, your captain, everybody's captain. Captain Morgan. Scrum down here on the halfway line. Blues feed. Scrum resets. For some reason. Something about the binding. The binding was not quite correct. It is nice, of course, to be back on TikTok. Got to be very, very cautious what I say on TikTok as it transpires. UFC, you just need Severus or Will Jordan with not a lot of other points. That's it. Scrum sets this time, and Blues go to the left. Barrett goes out the back for Ioane. Ioane for Caleb Clark. And again, Caleb Clark very well contained. Talia slots into scrum half. And Papali'i now backs into the defense, spins away from the first tackle. The Blues looking increasingly confident. The Crusaders looking ever increasingly shaky. The pressure is well on here. 4 minutes left in the sin bin for Inor. Tuipulotu to Sullivan, who grubber kicks through, looking for this to sit up. Barrett, oh no, it's AJ Lamb kicking back in field for Barrett, but it's taken by Hotham. The Blues wrestle him over the sideline, and they will have a 5-meter line out here, the Blues. Ashley comes back for a penalty because Hotham wouldn't release the ball. It's gotten worse here. Well, they'd have to consider taking the 3. And it all just went a little bit pear-shaped for the Crusaders there. Giving away the 5-meter line-out throw. Hotham holds onto the ball so that the Blues can't go quickly. And ends up giving away a full-arm penalty. The Blues will keep the pressure on here, will they? Yes, they will. The scrum is called. The scrum called. Nineteen and a half minutes gone. 7-0, and Inor stays as a yellow card. It's been reviewed, and it stays yellow. There you go. Good news for the Crusaders. We wait for this scrum to set. John Michael, locals in Sydney, wrestling fans. There's a show on at Padstow RSL Club tomorrow night. Very cool. I went to a local wrestling show in Sydney once when I was visiting. And, of course, not another bloody wrestling show. Our fortnightly podcast, Monday, 6:30 p.m. as Christie goes for Talia. The short ball for Rico Ioane. And the Blues are rolling here. Ioane scores under the post. Breaks his try-scoring drought. And what a time to do it. A rugby semi-final. Rico Ioane gives the Blues a very cozy lead now. It's about to be 14-0. Raven 187, ahoy. Simple conversion popped over from Bowden Barrett, and the Blues lead 14-0. Wow. This has been dominant so far. "21 minutes gone in the opening half. Hello, Lacey. Ahoy, mate. Much love from Turangi in New Zealand. Am I saying that correctly? Turangi. The clearing kick doesn't find touch, and Will Jordan can counter-attack here. Jordan goes straight through the middle, but holding on to the ankles. Crusaders still in possession. Scotty Barrett down the short side. Looking to hit back quickly. Hotham with the pick and go. Blackadder has the crack. Will Jordan now runs it back in towards midfield. Still penalty advantage here for the Crusaders. 21 seconds left of yellow card for Braden Inor. As Havili, who's having a shocker, dead set shocker, throws the pass in field to nobody, the no-looker, and he had no support with him. And they come back for the penalty. They'll find touch here, the Crusaders, just to wind down that 5 seconds. And Inor will come back onto the field. Blues will be happy with a 14-0 lead, but here come the Crusaders. They'll be looking to get as close as possible here. And finding touch. 5 meters out. Oh, here we go. Cody Taylor's on here. Cody Taylor is on. Look for the rolling maul. But they've got to secure the line out first. The Blues managing to pilfer last time. Taylor with the throw. Look for the rolling maul and the Cody Taylor try. We're right in this one home because I told everybody at the start of the stream that this was the sure thing. The dead set certainty out of the 3. Taylor throws to the front. They've secured it. Mission 1 done. Rolling maul is set. Crabbing sideways at the moment. Taylor's got it at the back and breaks away. Cody Taylor burrows for the line and he's a couple of meters short. Penalty advantage, though, for collapsing the maul. And the Crusaders go for Rayhana to step off the left boot. Hotham, 1 out from the ruck. Left they go again, but the defense of the Blues scrambling. The pick and go. Centimeters short they must be. Still under penalty advantage. Told to use it. And driving over the line to score. We'll have to wait and see. The massive bodies to get up. It's Tom Christie, the number 7. Try scored. Crusaders hit back. The moment they're back to a full complement. Paul says, not a very comfortable lead against the Satyrs, mate. Don't jinx us. Sorry. Sorry, Paul. User 8383. I hope the Brumbies make the finals. I'd be happy for the Aussies as a Kiwi. And when you think about it, like, should the Crusaders win this one and go through? The Crusaders and the Brumbies have a long, storied history of Super Rugby finals, don't they? And both have been absent from Super Rugby finals for a little bit of time. So it would be like an almighty return to the glory days of Super Rugby, seeing a Crusaders Brumbies final. As Rayhana with the conversion attempt pushes it far to the right, but it's hooking back, and just sneaks inside the far upright. 14 points to 7. It only just got through, but that's all it needs to do. John Michael, eating an extra hot pizza is very similar to copying a super kick from Jacob Faiatu. I'll have to take your word on that one, mate. Thankfully, not something I've experienced. Too easy, says the Blues are going to make history. But a very, very important hit back there from the Crusaders as Hotham with the box kick clearance. Looks like it's going out on the full. It does. And they march all the way back just outside the 22 for the Blues to have the line-out throw. Heel fries, ahoy, mate. And what's happening here? Potential foul play. Head-on-head contact we're looking at again. We've already seen Braden Inor spent 10 in the bin. Are we about to see one of the Blues gone now? Oh! Scott Barrett. A head clash with Faiatu. And I tell you what, if there's consistency in the calls, I'm afraid he's got to go. Yellow card for Faiatu. The second of the night, dangerous tackle, head-on-head contact. And the next 10 minutes, the Blues are about to be 14 men. Yellow card for Faiatu and a penalty for the Crusaders. Well, we've seen one for each team now. Head contact, and off they go. As Rehana finds touch just short of halfway. Crusaders side of halfway still, over on that far touchline. Heel Fries asks if we're doing the footy later on. Probably not Heel Fries, to be honest. But Heel Fries, you'll be excited to know, over on my gaming channel, Intoxi Gamer, I've already done a video over there announcing my return, which presumably should be this weekend. Crusaders throw to the middle, uncontested ball. Chalfern brings it down and Rehana kicks from the 40. Puts it high down the middle of the field. Contestable kick. Jordan puts pressure on Barrett and it sits up for the Crusaders. Scott Barrett bumps off one. They're 35 out from the line or thereabouts. Hotham digs it out into midfield. Bauer with some quick hands. Rehana loops around the back and he's held up by McWonnell. He's got to get this to ground and does. Hotham back into midfield. Bauer into the defensive line, lays it back. Hotham staying on that short side for Rehana. Rehana with the little goosey. And some quick ruck ball here from the Crusaders. 35 out from that line still. 5 phases in, and they've lost the ball. Some great counter ruck work there from the Blues. Forces the error at the back of the ruck. And a scrum about to be fed, so if they haven't replaced one of the backs, they're going to have to now because Faiatu are off the field with the yellow card. And on comes Jordan Lay. Rock my balls, says, come on, Crusaders. 28.5 gone, 14 points to 7. Hell of a game so far. We were expecting a tight, tough tussle. We're sure as hell getting it. And onto the field comes Jamie Hanna. 7.5 minutes left of Sinben time for Faiatu. 28.5 gone in the opening 40. 7 points the difference. There's players going on and off everywhere here. Nobody knows what's going on. User 8383 says best Wallabies era of all time. You guys think? I mean, probably for me, just because that's when I was first watching rugby union, was the late 90s, early 2000s. Eels, Larkham, Gregan, Herbert, Burke, as the Blues come away with the scrum into midfield. Ioane sets it up in midfield. To the right side they go. Blues, of course, running right to left on the TV screen. Christie sets up the box kick clearance, gets it away. And it's going to land on halfway, taken by Jordan. Jordan gets away from Talia. Talia comes back at him. Crusaders ball on the halfway line. Monine Sabuan, how's Reese performing? Yeah, he's been going all right. He made that crucial error that led to a Blues try. But outside of that, he's been all right. Hasn't really had a whole lot of ball yet. The knee crumbler, ahoy, mate. Blues back in possession. Sullivan will clear from the 35-metre line. Puts it high. Contestable kick. But Caleb Clark wins the battle in the air. Lays it back like an egg. And the Blues are still in possession here. 40 out from the try line. Christie for Barrett to chip in over the top. Looking for some space, but Cody Taylor plucks it out of the air. It was a poor kick, really, from Bowden Barrett. As the Crusaders go short side. Leo Willie can't break through the tackle. And this ball is spilt forward. No call from the referee. Fletcher Newell recovers. Crusaders looking to clear now. Rehana to Havili. Sends it downfield. It's a big kick taken on the full by Caleb Clark. And he's got Sullivan to clear. And it's a good kick. Zahn Sullivan sends it back into Crusaders territory. Crusaders will have the line-out throw. 5 their own side of halfway. 14 points to 7. It remains here. Five minutes left in the bin for Fusitu'a. Taylor throws to the front of the line-out. Rolling maul is set. The Crusaders have had success here. But this time, the rolling maul stalls quite early. Now it gets going forward. Up over halfway. A nice drive, this one. Hotham brings it out. Sends it into midfield. Havili onto Blackadder. Blackadder in midfield on halfway. Lays it back. And the clearing kick now for Rehana. Skews it horribly off the side of the boot. And that's a mile in touch on the full. For Crusaders. What's going on here? This has been a really, really poor opening half. The execution's just not there. And it could be contributed to the pressure that the Blues are putting on. Okay, it's yellow card assessment time. Yellow card is remaining a yellow for Fusitu'a. So he's got 4.5 minutes left in the bin. 14 points to 7. Blues with a line out here, just inside Crusaders territory. Throw goes to the middle. It's taken down. And the rolling maul is set. Riccatelli gets it at the back. Still going here. Riccatelli now hands it off for Christie. Christie to Lamb in midfield. Crusaders get hands on this one. And it's Tom Christie who wrestles it away. Oh, that was very Richie McCaw-esque by Tom Christie. Penalty Crusaders. Ball carrier holding on. Seven minutes until the halftime break. These are the championship minutes, right? The 5 minutes immediately before and the 5 minutes immediately following the break. The championship minutes. Crusaders fine touch from the penalty. 22 out. They release it quickly from the line out. And Havili in midfield. Dummies. And steps into contact. Hotham sends it left. The cutout pass from Leo Willie to Rehana creates space. And Faiatu goes through. He's tackled 5 out. Finley Christie looks to get in and spoil, but loses the ball. No advantage. And we come back tackled without the ball. One of the Crusaders further back. And they can put this into the corner. And Cody Taylor comes right into play again. We're keeping an eye on that because, of course, It's the one that I said was the sure thing. So now I feel like I owe it to everybody that that's actually correct. Finding touch 5 meters out. They've already tried a rolling maul, though, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an early release this time. The rolling maul's been doing so well for them. The only thing. But 5 meters out, I'm sure the Blues will be ready for it. The big line-out throw anyway. But Cody Taylor goes to the front, uncontested, and the rolling maul is set. The Blues pile through, but that's left a lot of open space. And it collapses to ground. There was a Blues player trapped in the wrong side there. Can't roll away. Penalty advantage is there for the Crusaders. So they'll get another crack if nothing comes of this. Havili tries to grab a kick in past the line. And I think they just wanted that penalty. I think they wanted a redo. Blues not rolling away. Penalty to the Crusaders. Five minutes left in the first half. 1 minute left in the sin bin for Faiatu. And they'll just go again here, the Crusaders. 5 meter line out throw over on that far touch. Taylor goes to the front again, uncontested. The maul has got better shape on it this time. Cody Taylor wants it at the back. He's got it. That's once. The Blues keep it crabbing sideways for now, but a pod breaks away. Taylor's now lost the ball. Leo Willies with it. And Hotham releases it. The Blues are defending well. Havili steps back towards the maul. 5 meters out. The pick and go for Leo Willie. They're close here, the Crusaders. The championship minutes, as we said. Hotham sends it right. In front of the post is Fletcher Newell, who tries to burrow under. And now Jordan steps back in field. Will Jordan reaches out and scores. Will Jordan scores what will surely be the equalizer. 14 points to 12, the kick to come. And tempers are flaring. Oh, they know how big a try that was, how big a moment it was. Tensions are boiling over. $14 points to 12, the kick to come from right beside the post. Will Jordan has stepped straight through Patrick Tuipulotu. That is a little piece of Will Jordan magic. Rayhana lines up the conversion attempt. Should be a pretty simple one. And with 3 minutes to go until the break, we're all locked up at 14 apiece. The Blues should be back to a full complement now. Faiatu ready to come back on. And now, just a word from the referee. The referee says, let's just keep those tempers in order, boys. There'll be no more of that stuff. Three minutes left in this half. Back underway. Sullivan with the restart lands just outside the 22. And straight up the middle goes Leo Willie. Returns it to the 40. What a kick return that was. Back for Rayhana to clear. Taken by Bowden Barrett. Puts it high. Chases his own kick. Taken by Hotham, and Barrett wraps him up. Holds him up in the air. Maul is set. Now they get to ground, the Crusaders. And slipping there is Jamie Hanna. And he's lost the ball as well. Gifting the Blues an opportunity here before the break. And Dylan, your Dragons choked last night. They put on a pretty solid fight. For the most part. Well, for one half. For one half, they were very good, weren't they? The 1.5 minutes left. Then it will be half time. The scrum sets 40 out from the line. Blues feed. Right in midfield. Smack bang in midfield. It sets and it's a solid foundation here. Christie goes right for Sullivan on the wraparound. Read well by Sevu Reese, who monsters him to ground. And the Crusaders walk straight over the top. Trying to force the turnover and do so. Penalty to the Crusaders. And they have definitely owned these championship minutes that we were talking about. The 5 minutes before and the 5 minutes after halftime. And it's been one-way traffic. Crusaders looking very, very strong. 14 all, though, going into the break. They might get one last shot at it here, the Crusaders. One last shot at trying to draw a penalty or something to get some more points going into the break. With only 5 seconds left, Taylor goes flying over the top there in the line out. That's there for Rayhana. Rayhana plants it back. And the Crusaders will get one last shot at it here before the break. Chalfoon bumps off one before he goes to ground. Thinking short side, but there was nobody there, so back in field for Bauer. Bauer sets it up. Rayhana, cut out pass on to Blackadder, who keeps the ball alive. Back to Jordan. Rayhana steps off the right, beats one. Hotham goes quickly and spills the ball in contact. It's play on at the moment, and the Blues are in open space. The counter-attack is on, but the kick goes into touch, deflecting off the Crusaders. And that will be half-time. 14 points all at the break. What a half of footy, what a half of rugby we just saw. What a semi-final. 14 points all at the break. We've seen 2 yellow cards for identical offences. We've seen tries from Mark Talia, Tom Christie, Rico Ioane, and Will Jordan. Big second half coming up. $14 apiece at the break. Chiefs Brumbies tomorrow in the second semi-final. That should be a cracker as well. The Brumbies, of course, the last remaining hope for Australian rugby. So we've got coming up on the Waste of Water Sports, of course, in terms of rugby, the Lions Tour is probably the big event of 2025. The Lions are heading down under. And I'll tell you what, Australia, the Wallabies, could be in a little spot of bother. It's a strong-looking Lions squad ready to take on this tour. Good old-fashioned tour. There should be more of them. All right, halftime here, 14 points all. I'm going to have myself a quick break. And then we'll be back to dissect that first half and contemplate what the second half might bring right after this. Waste to Water Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, and live on Twitch. No Facebook tonight. Quick break. Be right back after I load up the music. There we go. All right.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pants. Last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques. Just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. No way to roll. From sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporting crew.
Yeah.
Where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh,
Halftime, 14 points all.
we'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.
As I was saying, a fantastic first half of rugby. The opening 5 minutes will be massive in context. The Blues can't afford to drop off. Adam ST, ahoy mate. Hot take, Blues win league, Blues win union. I certainly do think the Blues are going to win quite comfortably in the league. Oh yes, it's unusual to see Queensland panicking. And Billy Slater has hit the panic button big time with his Game 2 selections. And the Blues have actually got the team closer to what they should have had in Game 1, certainly in the halves. Yeah, I think the Blues are going to have a massive win. But I don't want to jinx it. Soraya Tia says, level up your game, Blues. Please don't be like last time. Queensland arrived in Perth today. New South Wales travel on Sunday in preparation for Origin. Yes, Queensland trying something a little different. Billy Slater feels like that perhaps in the past, Queensland teams haven't taken enough time to acclimatise or get over jet lag, that sort of thing. It's a big flight to Perth. People often don't appreciate that. That flight to Perth is an absolute killer. Formula One is back this weekend, Matty. The Canadian Grand Prix. For us Australians, it is bright and early on Monday morning. The race. Looking for Oscar Piastri to extend his lead in the championship. So Monday at 4 a.m. Bright and early, Monday morning. Oscar Piastri and the McLaren boys taking the fight to Red Bull and Max Verstappen. Are we doing NRL after this? Well, I mean, I suppose there's probably time. Titans vs. Manly isn't exactly the most enticing game, though, is it? But, hey, we'll see how I feel. If I'm up and about, because I've been extremely tired today. If this was not a semi-final, I probably would have had the night off. I'm just exhausted, so we'll see how I go. But, because you know how it is when you're up and about, even if you're tired, you have a few drinks, you get all pumped up and the adrenaline kicks in, and who knows, I might feel at the end of this that I can go again and do the next game. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. How are you doing? Yes, indeed. So, the schedule for this weekend. So, we'll play the rest of tonight. We'll play by ear. But what's coming up the rest of the weekend is obviously tomorrow is the second semi-final. The Chiefs taking on the Brumbies. So that rules out the Knights versus the Roosters game. Might do the Cowboys-Dolphins. If the rugby finishes on time, I'm definitely feeling up for the Cowboys-Dolphins. And I can also tell you, for those who are into gaming and enjoy hanging out with me here on the Wasted World of Sports, I've restarted my gaming channel on YouTube called Intoxi Gamer. So do feel free to check that one out. Intoxi Gamer on YouTube. So we'll also be doing a stream of that sometime over the course of this weekend. Sunday, Rabbitohs Bulldogs. Origin ravaged teams. But it should still be a good game. And then, of course, Monday morning, Formula One, the Canadian Grand Prix. And Monday night, 6:30 p.m., we've got Not Another Bloody Wrestling Show. Jason and I, our fortnightly podcast covering the world of professional wrestling. So that's what we've got coming up here on the Wasted World of Sports this weekend, or in my world, since I got a little plug in there for my gaming channel. It was Reed's birthday yesterday, 26 years old now. Well, happy birthday to Reed. '26, eh? Yeah. I remember 26. So halftime here, 14 points apiece. We'll have another quick break. And when we come back, teams should be running out onto the field for the second half, ready to get us underway. Those championship minutes that we were talking about. Can the Crusaders go on with the job? Find out shortly. All right, second half ready to get underway. Crusaders, Blues all locked up. It has been very, very worthy so far of a semi-final. Let's hope that that continues into the second half. Raphael Kibble White. Ahoy there, mate. First half started a little bit of lack of execution from both teams as they went through the feeling out process. But overall, it was good quality rugby. A couple of harsh decisions, one for each team, a yellow card each at different parts of the first half there for head clashes, essentially. Dangerous tackles were the official rule, but they were just head clashes. But that's the laws at the moment. So it is what it is. The Blues started the stronger, but the Crusaders definitely finished the half on top. So very, very important for the Blues to keep themselves in this contest here in the second half. Those championship minutes that we sort of talked about. The Crusaders have just been on top there leading into the break. Both offences stayed as yellow cards. Faiatu already back onto the field before the halftime break. And Braden Inor for the Crusaders before that. So, yeah, both yellow cards stayed as yellows. No further damage done. Second half about to get underway. Here in the semi-final, Crusaders, Blues. And Rayhana gets us started. 14 all. Big opening 5 minutes here. Sullivan dummies the kick and runs it out just outside the 22. Christie told to use it. Meerkats around at the back of the ruck. And he wants another one down the short side. Just wants to get a little closer to that touchline. The ruck is set inside the 22. Christie with the box kick clearance, thumps it into touch. Not a lot of distance on it. He was making dead set certain of that touch finder. And it will be a Crusaders line-out throw. 40 out from the Blues line. Probably not the start, probably not the clearance Blues would have been looking for. Cody Taylor throws to the front. The Blues spoil, but it's still there for the Crusaders. Hotham sends it into midfield. And here is Inor, suffering that first half yellow card. Leo Willie carries. The ball's ripped out from his hands, knocked on by the Blues. Advantage Crusaders, just a knock-on advantage. They break left. The big Harbour Bridge pass out for Reese. Reese toes through. Leads the chase of his own kick. And Bowden Barrett patiently waits for that ball to sit up in the end goal. And a goal line dropout incoming. Nerves of steel there from Bowden Barrett. So a solid start really for the Crusaders. Keeping the Blues pinned down here in their own territory. As Barrett sends it deep from the dropout. It's going to be taken by Jordan almost at halfway. And Leo Willie winds up. The ball spills out the side of the ruck. Well scooped up by Hotham. And the Crusaders get there in numbers. But it squirts out the side of the ruck again. And the Blues this time clean up. And that was really poor from the Crusaders. They need better ball security around ruck time. Barrett shuffles it back to Sullivan inside the 22. Carried back, though, so he can't find touch. Didn't need to. It's a big kick downfield, and Faiatu looks to return serve. And he does return serve. That's a hell of a kick. Jay Faiatu. Barrett now from inside the 22. Making sure of his touch, but again, not a lot of distance. It's a stalemate. And we're all the way back to a Crusaders throw over on that far touchline. And they've gone quickly. Newell back for Cody Taylor. Taking everyone by surprise here, the Crusaders. And now Leo Willie breaking the line, bending the line. He's doing it all at the moment, the big number 8. Blackadder steps back towards the ruck. Barrett To Faiatu, cut out pass to Cody Taylor, who's standing on the wing, and he coughs the ball up. Scrum down here for the Blues. Execution, letting the Crusaders down early here in the second half, much like it did in the first half. It was a beautiful pass. Should have been taken. So Riccatelli winding up the line-out throat. Referee blows his whistle. What's he found? He wants some space. They're closing the space. Riccatelli. Wow, taking an eternity to get this ball in. Finally, it goes into the middle, and the Blues come away with it. So 4 minutes gone here in the second half. And we've got a stalemate at the moment, still 14 apiece. Christie's got it at the back. Sends the box kick up, contestable ball. It's going to land just short of halfway, and the Blues spill it forward. Crusaders come away with it. Faiatu sends it in field for Jordan. Jordan decides to have a run, and he's tackled well by Papali'i. Right around the shoulders, perfect hit. Rayhana puts it high. Looking to put pressure on Barrett. Barrett's wrapped up by Faiatu. The Crusaders look to drive over the top, but it's still there for the Blues. 10 short of halfway. Over on that left edge touch. Controlling the ball here, the Blues. Christie. Back for Barrett. Puts it through the hands for Sullivan. Sullivan steps and goes straight through. He's got support, but he dummies and goes back in field for Christie. Christie's met hard on halfway. Havili with a good tackle. And a loose pass now from the Blues out to the left and losing the ball. Play on as the ball's ripped away by George Bauer, who fires it in field forward, and it's gone into touch anyway. The Blues will have the line-out throw just short of halfway. Teeks, ahoy mate. Who have I got for the win? Oh, well, I tipped the Crusaders by 1-12 at the top of the stream, and I have to stick with that. Riccatelli goes to the back. Tuipulotu comes down with it. The rolling mauls collapsed illegally by the Crusaders. Penalty advantage here on halfway for the Blues. Almost 6 minutes gone here in the second half. Christie with a loose pass out the back. They'll come back for the penalty. The Blues do seem to be doing better at the moment. It's much like the first half. What we saw in the first half was the Blues start very strong and the Crusaders eased their way into the half and were the much stronger of the two teams at the back end. And we're seeing a very similar pattern emerging here in the second half. The Crusaders looking very sloppy. The Blues winning the early battle. Finding touch now inside the Crusaders 22 from that penalty kick. As onto the field comes Anton Segner, the number 20 for Adrian Choate. Riccatelli. Big line out throw this one. Goes to the middle. Crusaders look to spoil the rolling maul set though as the Blues come down with it. Tuipulotu. Riccatelli's got it at the back. Penalty advantage now as the Crusaders collapse the maul again. Christie stays on the short side. Papali'i sets up the ruck. They're about 10 meters out now, the Blues. Staying on the short side, just trying to draw in those Crusaders big boppers and create some space out to the right. They're right on that left edge. So it's a big open side to the right. No advantage. So they come back for the penalty. They lost about 10 meters in that tackle. Offside. Now, it's out wide. It's right on the touchline, basically, this penalty. It might be worth having a crack at 3 here, though. It's not an easy kick. They're having a long chat about it here. Tui Pilotu, Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett saying, yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can get him here. Lamiki says, go, Crusaders, go. Lordy Torty says, up the Saders. Rafael Tarazi says, hope this is a great game. It's certainly been a great game so far. As the Blues find touch over on that left edge, 5 meters out. They've had some success here with the rolling maul. Riccatelli goes to the front, uncontested. Crusaders drive through and spoil, and the ball spills out the side of the ruck. Knock on by the Crusaders, though. The Crusaders managed to spoil the rolling maul, but they come up with the mistake. Wasted Water Sports, of course, coming up next Wednesday night. State of Origin number 2. Very much looking forward to that coverage. So if Rugby League and State of Origin is your thing, I very much hope you can join us for that one. As the New South Wales Blues, very nicely poised at the moment for a clean sweep. Looking very, very solid. Scrum down here, 10 meters out. Blues with the feed. Big shove here from the Crusaders, but now it's crabbing sideways. Christie sends it out to AJ Lamb. 5 meters out from the line now. Still over on that left edge. Back into midfield they come. Segner standing flat-footed. And the Crusaders defense holding firm for now. Penalty advantage, not rolling away. The Blues can launch an attack here. Barrett dancing around in backfield. Offloads for Clark. Clark straightens, runs straight over the top of somebody. Who's that poor defenseless soul? Renata carries just to the left of the post. Christie for Barrett, who switches directions. Back over to the left. And AJ Lamb stepping in field. Christie with quick ball. Tui Pilotu finds half a gap. 2 meters out now. The Blues pick and go. And they're over the line. Has Riccatelli got to ground here? He's held up. Held up over the line. Desperate defense from the Crusaders on their own goal line. Oh, Riccatelli just doesn't get the ball to ground. So they come back for the penalty. Not rolling away. It's a little closer to the post now. They might think about the 3. The thing is, they've committed. And now the Crusaders are getting an official warning. Too many penalties down this end of the field. The next one's going. So they'll keep the pressure on for sure. The Crusaders have just got that warning. They surely keep the pressure on now and try and force another penalty. It's going to be a tap and go. Christie taps, fires it into Tui Pilotu in midfield. He's brought down 5 out right in front of the post. The crash ball from, oh no, it's been dropped by Hoskins Satutu. The worst possible result for the Blues. Satutu with the knock on. Unforced error. The absolute worst thing that could have happened. All the plausible results in that little sequence of play. That is the absolute worst one for the Blues. And the Crusaders have held on. That was a big period of pressure that the Crusaders were under. The Crusaders have never been beaten in a home playoff match. Holy hell. 30-0. Wow. 30 wins, no losses in home playoff fixtures. That is just an insane record for the Crusaders. The scrum sets, immediately goes sideways, and a penalty to the Crusaders. The Blues boring in. And this could not be going any worse at all for the Blues. They decided to knock back the shot at 3, keep the pressure on. And ever since then, it's just fallen to pieces for them. Rehana sends this into touch, 10 short of halfway. Substitutes rolling on. UFC says not choosing Fogarty was kiss of death for Billy. There was absolutely no point picking Fogarty is the problem, UFC. If they were going to drop Billy Slater, if they were going to drop DCE and get a new halfback, as a free kick here for the Blues, not straight at line-out time. Yeah, if you're dropping your captain and your halfback, you're replacing him with somebody who's going to be there in the long term. Fogarty's already beyond representative level, I'm afraid. CJ Dunn, ahoy, mate. Shane Jan Van Logger, Crusaders, go boys. It is the Blues in possession, though, and largely in control of this last 10 minutes or so. Barrett with the inside ball for Segner. Sets it up on that left edge, about 25 out. Christie, cutout pass into midfield for Papali'i. He's been well contained. Christie sends it left now. Belay. Again, Satutu holds on this time. 6 phases for the Blues, but they haven't really gone anywhere. 14 all, 55 gone. Renata with the offload, back in field for Papali'i. The ball is turned over by the Crusaders. Counter-attack is on out to the left. Rehana sets it back, and Hotham back into midfield. I think it was on out left there, but they decided to play it safe. Back to Havili for the clearance. He puts it high. It's not really contestable. It sort of bounces in no man's land, and it sets up for the Crusaders. Havili back for Hotham. And they're back to where they were for Will Jordan to clear. And Talia gets all tangled up in his own limbs, and the ball goes into touch. The Crusaders have finally successfully cleared this ball. And they've got the Blues back down in their own half. .30 out from their own line here, the Blues, with the line-out throw. But things just got a little bit chaotic for them. Oh, what's going on here? Trainer is on the field. There's been a HIA call. Who's this coming off? One of the Blues. Jordan Lay heading off the field for a HIA. No, this. Ahoy, mate. The Blues call a short line out here. And Riccatelli goes to the front. The Crusaders look to spoil. But the rolling maul is set. Blues in possession, going towards the sideline. Very close to the sideline, but it's still in field. Talia steps away at the back of the ruck. They've lost about 10 metres here. Blues just outside their own 22. Crusaders starting to lift, much like the first half. Only this time, they haven't leaked the points. Christie's sending up the box kick. Looking to get the Blues out of here. Attempted charge down from Shalfoon. Jordan takes it. Talia up around the shoulders. Good hit. The home crowd boos, but it was a good hit. And in midfield, George Bell sets up the ruck. Back to the left they come, the Crusaders. Leo Willie plants it back. Jordan at first receiver. Steps back in field. Blackadder sets up another one. Rehana onto Bell. 5 phases. Not a whole lot happening at the moment here for the Crusaders. Notice this. This is your first time watching rugby this year. Go the Blues. Very nice. Notice this. As straight through goes Barrett. Scotty Barrett's brought to ground. Quick ruck ball now for the Crusaders. And Havili with the double pump throws it straight to Rico Ioane. And thankfully, there was a penalty advantage there. The Crusaders will get the ball back. They'll get the penalty. They might even have a think about a shot at 3 here from 45 out just to the right of the posts. But what in the hell was Havili thinking there? Rico Ioane was essentially standing in the Crusaders' defensive line when he threw that pass, and he hit him perfectly on the chest. Havili's having a nightmare of a day out. Crusaders fine touch, 15 out from the line. Not having the shot at 3. Wanting to keep the pressure on here. Wanting more. The Rennett's is off the field now as well. Eklund comes on for the Blues. Seems like another HIA-related substitution. Throw to the line-out. Taken by the Crusaders. The rolling maul is set. The rolling maul is well set. Perfect shape, and they're just marching forward. The Blues will have to sack this illegally. Oh, the Crusaders have fallen over themselves here. Blues pile in. Trying to keep that one up off the deck, but it's gone to ground. Crusaders have done well. Shalfoon now crawls forward. 5 meters out. Blues with the turnover. Crusaders have lost it. Christie sends it back to Barrett. Bone Barrett from inside his own goal line clears up to the 22. The pressure's still on, but they're a little bit further back now, the Crusaders. The turnover successful there by Anton Segner. Glorious little piece of play there from Segner. So a quarter of this contest left. The stalemate continues. Throw goes to the back of the lineout. And wrapping around the back is George Bell, who's on the field for Cody Taylor. On the 22, Scott Barrett. In midfield, right in front of the post, smack bang. 22 out. Hotham signals his intent early there. He's going right. And they continue to go right here, the Crusaders. Just inside the 22, slowly but surely. Scott Barrett sets up another one. Still 20 minutes left in this game. The pick and go is the option now. Cullen Grace bounces out a 1. The ball spills out the back of the ruck and the Blues dive on it. Poor ball security again from the Crusaders at ruck time. And the Blues can clear. Papalihi sets up another ruck. And Christie will look to thump this upfield. The box kick clearance. It's not going to find touch. Oh, it does find touch. Just short of halfway. Yeah, UFC says when I was at primary, there was a kid who couldn't afford headgear, so he wore a bike helmet. God. I wouldn't have thought that would be allowed. That bike helmet could do some serious damage, you know? Crusaders throw to the middle. Uncontested. George Bell taps it, throws it. Firing a Harbour Bridge pass out to an unmarked Faiatu, who steps back in field and is tackled just short of halfway. Hotham spots an opportunity down the short side, but the Blues spoil. Knock-on advantage. And the referee says, no, this is all a big mess. Double knock-on, we'll have the scrum. Yeah, back in my day at school, they actually used to have spare stuff for the kids that didn't have their own. Spare shoulder pads, spare headgear, or baseball, it was spare gloves. "62 minutes gone, still 14-all. No change to that halftime score. It was always very disturbing when we were playing cricket and there was only one cup to share amongst the whole batting team. Wayne stretch, ahoy mate. Or when you were playing cricket, you always tried to be the opening batsman, because if you had to share the pads, by the time you got to bat and you were low in the order, those things were sweaty as hell, man. You didn't want to be putting those on your legs. Scrum down here for the Crusaders on halfway, over on the right-hand touchline as they attack. It sets and Hotham feeds and immediately collapses. Illegally, says the referee. Penalty advantage, Crusaders. And the chip over the top is read by Talia. And I think the Crusaders are happy to come back for the penalty. I think they picked out Talia on purpose. Let's come back and get our penalty. Front row collapsing. Rayhana can send this into touch. Still outside the 22, so he had a rough angle on it, in fairness, but he probably would have liked a little bit more distance on it. "63 minutes gone, 14 apiece. There's George Bell with the line-out throw here for the Crusaders, about 30 out from the line. Oh, the Blues attempt to compete and steal, but it's there for the Crusaders still. Rolling Moore collapses. And it's all fair play there, says the referee. Hotham down the short side. Well read by Bowden Barrett, who's in there to make the tackle. The maul is set. The Crusaders have got to get this to ground. Oh, it's a mess. And that'll be a turnover. The Blues with some immense defensive work again. And tensions boil over again. There's push and shove. Both teams going at it. It was the Blues in the first half. Frustration built up. And now it's the Crusaders. Their frustration boiling over. Although it seems like the referee blaming the Blues for this one at the moment. Oh, the Crusaders are going to end up with a penalty here for foul play. TMO has confirmed it. Lee, ahoy there. What do I reckon is easier to hit, NRL or Super? NRL or Super Rugby? NRL. NRL or international rugby? International rugby. Just based on my own personal experiences and what I've had wins in. I don't think I've had a single hit yet in Super Rugby, but I've won multiple this season in the NRL and international rugby. At the end of last year, I had a few wins as well, as the crossfield kick is plucked out of the air by Sullivan, and they were under penalty advantage. They've got to break this deadlock with 15 minutes to play. Surely they take a shot at 3 here. No, they're going to keep the pressure on the Crusaders. Rehana to put this into touch. 5 meters out. There's 15 minutes left. That was a very kickable one. Crusaders with the throw. Bell goes to the front of the line out. The ball is set and collapses. Penalty advantage, Crusaders. There's surely a yellow card incoming now if they don't score. They don't. It's been knocked on. Well, when does the referee go to the pocket? He goes to the pocket now. Oh, no. Final warning. Final warning here for the Blues down this end. He's having big, serious words there with Tui Pelotu. So the Crusaders call the scrum. All right. The scrum is going down. 14 minutes left to play. 14 points all. The Crusaders, they weathered the storm early in the second half. And once again, much like the first half, they seem to be finishing the back end of the half stronger. Havili heads off as McLeod comes onto the field. Here we go. 14 minutes left to play. 5 meter scrum. Crusaders feed. It's a 10 meter short side to the right. Huge open side to the left. It sets and it now resets. Very, very tense moments here in semi-final number 1. The game on a knife's edge. They crouch, bind, sets, and a big shove from the Crusaders. Meets some resistance from the Blues, but not for long. It wheels, and the yellow card will surely be incoming. No, he doesn't go to the pocket. Penalty to the Crusaders. They'll call another scrum, surely. And I think that's what Will Jordan's just suggesting here is another scrum is called, but I think maybe just having words and saying, I thought you said, what was the warning for? The warning might have been for a line out because here they come. The warning might have been for more collapses only because the Crusaders have changed their mind and put this into the corner. When will the referee reach for the pocket as Finley Christie heads off the field? Sam Knock is on for the Blues. George Bell, 5 meters out, throws to the back of the line out. Leo Willie has it set. The rolling maul is set. Going backwards now as the Blues drive through. But it's broken away and gone to ground. Crusaders still in possession. 5 out. Keeping it in tight to the ruck. Shalfoon. It's very loose out the back of the ruck again. Ball security's not been great tonight at ruck time for the Crusaders. Barrett makes them wait. Picks and goes. Still 5 meters out. Big open side to the left once more. As they head back towards the post, pick and go. Keeping it in tight, trying to earn that penalty advantage. 5 phases, and they've just gone sideways, bringing it back infield. Giving themselves options left and right. Hotham digs it out. Another short ball here. Leo Willie right in front of the post. 7 phases, and they've just brought it across field. Phase number 8 now. Still there for the Crusaders. Bell, a meter out now. The ball's up off the deck. Now it goes to ground. Hotham onto Blackadder. Still a meter out. Here's Bauer. Bauer goes through 1 tackle. Oh, he's half a meter out. Penalty advantage. Here we go. Now the Crusaders' backs all sweep over to the right-hand side. Penalty advantage. It's about to open up, you feel. And the try is scored. Well, they kept it in tight. Don't tell me it's Will Jordan with the pick and go. That's not how Will Jordan's supposed to score tries. Unbelievable. Will Jordan from half a meter out with a pick and go. He's not supposed to be in there doing that. The deadlock is broken. The Crusaders, 30-0 in home finals, are now on the brink of 31-0. An almighty streak. Will Jordan bags a double. $19 points to 14 with the kick to come. Rayhana, perfect kicking record tonight. Can he keep that going? He moves in, strikes it well. It's holding its line. And the Crusaders lead 21 points to 14 with 9 minutes to go. (21-14). 9 minutes remaining. The Blues go short with the restart. It's taken down by the Crusaders. Scotty Barrett winning that battle in the air. And Hotham's got it to the back. Box kick clearance. Sending it up to halfway. Contestable ball. Knocked on by the Blues. It's all falling apart for the Blues here. Oh, you hate to see it. You really do. But this Crusaders home record at finals time, very hard to crack. 21 points to 14. I assure you it is, even though the scoreboard hasn't updated yet. Pitpack says Titans or Manly. I think Manly have an absolute monster of a game. Cherry Evans, I think, will score a try and will have multiple try assists. He will have an absolute blinder because he's got a point to prove to Billy Slater. And that point is, Origin 1 wasn't my fault, mate. I'm the scapegoat. A Cherry Evans masterclass incoming tonight. 21 points to 14 here. 7 minutes to go. And a free kick for the Blues. Early engagement. The Crusaders had the feed. They tap and go here. 7 minutes left to play. 7 points the difference. 21 points to 14. I assure you it is. even though the scoreboard is yet to update. As from their own side of halfway here, the Blues kick and chase. Talia puts pressure on, but Sever Reese comes down with it. And Faiatu on the other side of the field loses the ball. Well, there's time off here. Has Faiatu been taken high? He lost the ball, but was it a legal hit? He's in a world of hurt here, Shea Faiatu. Oh, head clash with Hoskins Satutu. Now, this is going to be a huge call. We have already seen 2 sin bins, 1 from each team for head-on-head contact. And I'm afraid if they're consistent, Hoskins Satutu is going to be sitting down for the rest of this match. Oh, dear. Yellow card. Hoskins Satutu. A yellow card. And the Blues, if they are going to steal this one, they're going to have to do it a man down. Oh, dear. Things just keep going from bad to worse for the Blues. Penalty to Crusaders. 10 out from their own line. I'll be right back. Crusaders fine touch. Just short of halfway. James O'Connor has entered the fray. How has he kept his hair so immaculate after all these years? I want to know his secret. James O'Connor to see out the last 6 minutes here for the Crusaders. As the line-out throw goes to the middle, Cullen Grace brings it down. Rolling maul is set. The Blues are going to have to do this a man down, trailing by 7. The Crusaders maul it 15 meters up over halfway they go. Hotham has it at the back, the box kick for Will Jordan to chase. And it's, it's not Will Jordan, it's Dallas McLeod, who has lost it forward. And we're going to have a scrum down here. The Blues feed. 5 minutes to go. Crusaders by a converted try. The Blues with a man in the bin. A crucial man at that. The number 8, Hoskins Satutu. So the Blues, halfway through the first half, they were leading this contest 14-0. The Crusaders with the next 3 tries to take this game away from them. The scrum sets. It's a big drive here from the Crusaders, but the Blues get it out quickly. And they manage to hold on to the possession. Here's Plummer. Carries it up to the 40. Through the hands now. They've got to throw caution to the wind. Rico Ioane steps in field. Still 40 out from their own line. Knock has it at the back. They can't kick this ball away really now with only 4 to play. They've got to see if they can come up with a miracle here, the Blues. Barrett holds the pass up. Puts it short. The Crusaders are in. Trying to turn this one over. It's still there for the Blues. As Knock runs from the base of the ruck. Somebody's down in back play. Who's that? Holding their shoulder. It's Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett is down in back play. He's up now, but he's still clutching that shoulder. Down the short side and almost breaking the line was Cole Forbes. Into the Crusaders half they go. 3 minutes left. Knock in midfield. On to Talvao. Now, the 22, Harry Plummer. Unbelievable. 7 points the difference here. Can they send us to extra time? Through the hands. And Papali'i spots half a gap. Left for Talia. Dances around and beats one. Can't get through the second tackle, Talia. Knock keeps it on the short side. 3 minutes to go. They're 40 metres out from the Crusaders line. Crusaders not giving away any penalties. Good discipline at the moment as Ioane is a little isolated here. Rico gets the ball back. Well played by the Blues. Eklund thought he spotted half a gap. It closed very quickly. This Crusaders defense impenetrable at the moment. How's that for a big word for a drunk man? Down the short side, Blues still maintaining possession. 19 phases, but now the Crusaders look to turn the ball over, but he's gone off his feet. It's a penalty to the Blues. 20 phases. They went all of 5 meters, but they finally have earned the penalty, and Bowden Barrett's down again in back play. There is a big problem with Bowden Barrett's shoulder. Bowden Barrett for the last few minutes has just been milling around in back play with a shoulder issue. And he seems very unhappy. He can't turn his head to the left. That's funny. I can't turn my head properly to the right. The Blues find touch 10 meters out from the line. Oh. Okay. Hoskin Satutu, his yellow card remains a yellow card for whatever that's worth, because he was off the field for the rest of the game anyway. 1 minute to go in this semi-final. 7 points the difference. The Blues with the throw. They go to the middle. Crusaders compete, but the Blues come down with it. The maul is set, but it's a little bit messy. They still have it, though. That's once. It's crabbing sideways now, going towards the sideline. Back in field, they bring it. It collapses. They've got to get it out of there. They do. Knock to Plummer. Plummer takes the line on. Penalty advantage for the Blues. And they spill the ball. Angus to Avo with the dropped ball. But thankfully, penalty advantage was on. It's right out in front. Well, not quite. Just to the left of the posts. Crusaders were offside. They will have no interest in the 3 points, obviously. Barrett is back in the line. Puts this into touch. About 7 meters out. Line out throw for the Blues. I've got to save some of the drink in case there's extra time. Here come the Blues now. Spartacus says dig deep Blues. Line out throw. Goes to the middle. Uncontested. The rolling maul is set. The Crusaders drive through. And the Blues are gone back about 10 meters. Still in possession, though, the Blues. Knock. Sends it out for Ioane. Ioane tackled just to the left of the post. 15 out. Tui Pelotu loses a meter. Crusaders drive through and spoil, but it's still there for the Blues. Ioane goes again. They need their big players to step up. Time is up on the clock. We're a minute into stoppage time. Segner down the left edge. There's a big open side to the right, but guaranteed they're not going to be releasing this ball outside a penalty advantage. Discipline crucial here for the Crusaders. Ball retention, obviously crucial here for the Blues. Eklund now sets up 9 phases. Knock to lay in midfield. Losing ground. They're almost back to the 22 now. The Crusaders are chewing off a meter every single tackle. Knock back into midfield. Crusaders discipline solid. Still there for the Blues though. 12 phases. Keeping this one in tight. Resorting to the pick and go now. Back to back. Crusaders get in and try and spoil it. Bell has to release. Segner. Nowhere to go. Tight defense. Told to use it. Talia sends it out. Crusaders again looking to spoil, but it's still there for the Blues. Barrett caught in no man's land there. Bowden Barrett has to go to ground. Knock trapped with the ball. Crusaders in over the top of this one, looking to steal it away, but now told to get hands off. Again, the Blues are slightly isolated. Crusaders looking to secure the turnover, but can't. 20 phases again here for the Blues. 7 meters out from the line. Talia in front of the post. He's wrapped up. Knock. Where's he going to send it? He's going to go on his own. Sam Knock. Right in front of the post they are. 5 out. The pick and go by Josh Berry. Talia to Eklund. Still no penalty advantage. The discipline of the Crusaders. Immense. We're 3 minutes past the 80-minute mark now. 5 out from the line. Continuing to keep the ball in tight. Just hoping and praying for a penalty advantage. Just short of the line. The pick and go again. The ball's still there. Talia, 28 phases. This is madness. 28 phases. A meter out from the line. Papali'i steps back in field. He's taken just short. Again, the pick and go. Talia back towards the ruck. They've kept the ball up off the ground here, the Crusaders. The Blues have to get it to deck, and they do. Bowden Barrett steps back in field. A meter short, right in front of the posts. Another pick and go. 33 phases. This is insane. 33 phases and no penalty advantage. Now they get it. Offside. 34 phases into the play. Penalty advantage for the Blues. They're half a meter out. This could be going to extra time. Talia's got it at the back of the ruck. Plants it back. The ball's out. He has to pick it up. 37 phases. Penalty advantage Blues. Numbers to the left. Knock. Sends it out for Plummer, who's chopped in the tackle by Hotham. It's loose now for Barrett. Broken plays where he's dangerous. But he's held up now. They've got this ball up off the deck, the Crusaders. They'll come back for the penalty. 38 phases. And we come back for the penalty here. 5 meters out, right beside the posts. This has been immense. So, can Hoskins Satutu come back onto the field? He's been off for 10 minutes. Yes, he can. The Blues are back to a full complement. This game has now gone 6 minutes over the 80-minute mark. Hoskins Satutu can come back onto the field. The Blues tap and go. They drive for the line. A meter out. Right on the right edge of the post. Keeping it in tight once again, trying to earn that penalty advantage. Talia in at scrum half again, digging that ball out. The Crusaders defense holds on. Here's Talia. He's in front of the post. Does he reach out? No, he doesn't. They're half a metre out. Crusaders dive in over the top and get the turnover. The Crusaders have the ball, and that will be the match. O'Connor sends it back for Rayhana, and Rayhana thumps it dead. The Crusaders, with something in the region of 70 phases worth of defending, have held on, and they keep that record alive, 31-0 in home finals. What an immense record, and they are through to another Super Rugby final. The Blues, a man down, threw absolutely everything at them at the back end there. We went 6 minutes past the full-time siren. 21 points to 14. Now I can finish my drink, since there's no extra time. Rafael Tarazi says, well done, Crusaders. Something like 70 phases worth of defense. And in fairness, the Blues, a lot of that 71 was just one-out play, just trying to earn the penalty advantage. So it's not like they really threw a whole lot at them. But still, to go that many phases without giving away a penalty advantage, just the one, that's insane. UFC, you broke your multi-drought. And there's nothing wrong with that, mate. I mean, sometimes it's good to go with a more secure thing, take less of a payout. Sometimes I think in the rugby league, I should just drop down to 3 legs, play it a little bit safer, because over the past fortnight, over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've lost like 7 multis by 1 leg. So you think to yourself, well, maybe I should drop down from 4 to 3. But anyway, congratulations, UFC. As you said at the top, mate, it wasn't much of a payout, but a win's a win. And sometimes you've just got to get those W's on the boards. So the Crusaders are through. They will host the Super Rugby final. Chiefs and Brumbies will play each other tomorrow. Chiefs, the home team, who will go on and face the Crusaders in the grand final. We'll find out tomorrow. Well, I'll be here to cover all the action for those who are interested in alternative commentary. If you don't like what's available on the TV or the radio, do feel free to come on back tomorrow, because we'll be covering all the action here. Chiefs versus the Brumbies, semi-final number 2. Who's going to be facing the Crusaders? Unbelievable record, though. 31-0 in home finals. Amazing. Billy Maynard. Tuadraki, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Nichols, Super Rugby Blues 2026, yes. It's a bit early to know who's going to win the 2026 competition when the 2025 one's not even over yet, but the Blues did very well this season. They can hold their heads high. They fought to the very end and beyond. 6 minutes beyond. So they can hold their heads very high with their performance throughout this season. That's for sure. Harvili, a very believed man, because he had a shocker, by the way. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat room agrees with me, but I thought David Harvili was horrible tonight. But he got away with a lot. A lot of his mistakes were covered up by the Blues making a mistake immediately back, or a teammate covering for him, or a mistake was made under penalty advantage. I feel like Harvili really had a shocker. Crusaders qualify for their 17th Super Rugby final in 28 seasons. That's insane. And they've won 12 of the previous 16 finals. That's also insanity. Crusaders are going to be very hard to knock off. Look, I'm hoping the Chiefs win because I put a cheeky bet on the Chiefs at the start of the season. Before a ball had even been kicked off in Super Rugby, I threw down on the Chiefs for 2025. So I'll be cheering them on personally. All right, West of Water Sports. If you're into rugby league and the NRL, I'll be having a short break and I'll be back in about 40 minutes' time as the Gold Coast Titans take on the Manly Sea Eagles. So if you're into rugby league as well, we cover that here also on the West of Water Sports. I shall take my leave now so that we can go and get ready for that one. But thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Crusaders, too strong at home in Super Rugby finals, keeping a perfect record, 31-0. That is just mind-blowing stuff. And they're through to another Super Rugby Grand Final. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back again tomorrow for the Chiefs versus the Brumbies. Or, as I said, if you're into the rugby league, we'll be doing that very, very soon here on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitch, and on Facebook Live. Until then, thank you so much. And cheers. And I think, Ned Smith, the final would be on a Saturday, yes, in 8 days. Crusaders hosting. All right. Thank you so much. Titans, Manly, coming up very soon here on the channel. Cheers, everyone.